What's up, everybody? Mr. Forrest back with another video for you. And I think we're actually going to name this series. We're going to call this series God Is. And this week we're going to talk about this. For the parents, I'm going to use big words. God is self-sufficient. For the kids, we're going to say it this way. God needs nothing. Do you have a goldfish? A goldfish needs water to live. Goldfish have gills. Gills help the goldfish breathe underwater. If a goldfish didn't have gills, he couldn't live. If a goldfish didn't have water, he couldn't live. A goldfish needs food. It's a good idea to feed your goldfish 2 times a day, but not too much because a goldfish can die if it eats too much. But a goldfish needs food in order to live. Do you have a dog at home? A dog needs to eat and sleep and drink water and get exercise. If a dog didn't have those things, the dog could die. We are humans. We need food and drink. We need sleep and love and relationships. We need shelter and we need clothes. These are things that humans need to be safe and to survive. But did you know that God doesn't need anything? God doesn't need food. God doesn't need water. God doesn't need sleep because God doesn't need anything. The Bible teaches that God has life in Himself. God isn't like us that He needs 8 hours of sleep at night, or any sleep at all. God doesn't need breakfast and He doesn't need to get up and get dressed in the morning. He doesn't need a ride to school or anywhere for that matter. He doesn't need a teacher to teach Him. He doesn't need a backpack to carry stuff. He doesn't need love. He doesn't need a lunchbox or lunch. He doesn't need gym class or exercise. He doesn't need protection. He doesn't need TV or entertainment. He doesn't need a haircut or nail clippers. He doesn't need water in the middle of the night or ever. He doesn't need someone to comfort him. He doesn't need safety. He doesn't need an ice pack. He doesn't need anything to be happy. He doesn't need a doctor or a dentist or a teacher or a coach. You see, God is everything He needs. God exists as God apart from anything else, and that is part of what makes Him God. You see, God needs nothing. God is everything He needs, but He is also everything we need. God is the one who provides the food that we need, and the water that we need, and the clothes, and the shelter, and the love, and the safety that we need. This is how incredible God is. God doesn't need anything because He is everything that He needs. God has life in Himself. God is everything He needs. And He's everything we need. He is so incredible. And we have a memory verse this week to help us remember that God is everything He needs. God doesn't need anything outside Himself. But I'm going to need some friends to help me teach that memory verse.
Guess who's back? It's your old pal, el Señor Bosque Francisco Jerónimo Jalisco Geraldo Gomez.
What are you eating?
Only a magical slice of pizza.
What?
Unibrow corns are magical creatures from the magical fairy princess land of Oklahoma. So everything we eat has to be magical.
Did you just dip your pizza in ranch dressing?
No, I dipped my magical pizza in magical buttermilk ranch and magical hot sauce.
You're so weird. Now what are you doing?
Getting a drink. I'm thirsty.
What do unibrow corns drink? Wait, let me guess. Magical water.
Nope. Milk.
But why not magical milk?
There's no such thing as magical milk. Duh.
I don't get you. Anyway, it's time to work on our memory verse. I said it's time to work on our memory verse. Hey, wake up.
Huh? What? My bunny lies over the ocean. My bunny lies over the sea.
You were sleeping in the middle of a video. What's wrong with you? And you were eating and drinking in the middle of a video.
What? I need sleep and magical food and milk, and sometimes my nose is filled with boogers and I have to...
Okay, I get the point. You need to eat and sleep and drink. But do you know who doesn't need anything? God. God doesn't need anything. He has life in himself. And that is what our memory verse is about this week.
Yay! Time for another remembery verse.
Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth? Memory verse.
That's what I said. Remembery verse.
You're hopeless. Anyway, our reference is John 5:26.
5:26.
English, please.
John 5:26.
God the Father has life in himself.
Cousin Merle took a wife for himself.
You have a cousin named Merrill?
Yeah, but he's no longer a unibrow corn. He went to the mall kiosk and had eyebrow threading done. He now has 2 eyebrows, so he's just a regular old unicorn.
Can we just work on the memory verse?
Sure.
John 5:26. God the Father has life in himself.
Cousin Merle put wildlife on a shelf.
What is it with you and Cousin Merrill today? God the Father has life in himself.
God the Father has life in himself.
Finally, again. God the Father has life in himself. One more time. God the Father has life in himself.
Now that I have it, do you kids at home have it? Can you say it?
God the Father has life in himself. Back to you, Mr. Forrest.
You know, Mr. Forrest looks a lot like my cousin Merle.
That's it. I'm eating all your magical pizza.
I love those guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of God Is. Remember, God doesn't need anything because God has life in himself. I hope to see you guys again next time. But until then, Mr. Forrest and the cringy puppet duo,
Out.